Hello everyone, how are you today? Today our grammar lesson about comparatives. What do we mean by comparative? When we are going to compare between two people, two animals, two things, we use some adjectives in the form of comparative. So we use the comparative form when we are going to compare only between two people, two animals, two things, only between two. So when we use a comparative form, some details we will add it to the adjective form. So we are going to change the adjective by adding some letters to it. Now let's make short sentences describing or comparing between two animals, two people, or two things. First sentence, we have dog, cat, smaller than, and is. So we are comparing two animals, which are the dog and the cat. Where is the adjective? Where the adjective word is small and the verb is. So who is smaller, the dog or the cat? So the cat, we say the cat is, where the adjective word smaller than whom? Than the dog. So the cat is smaller than the dog. We have the cat, which is the subject, verb is, the adjective word is smaller than the dog. So when we are comparing between the two animals, we use smaller than, er, and then we add for the adjective word small, er, and then. Now second example, car, plane, faster than, and is. So car and plane, we are comparing two things, which is the car and the plane. Where is the adjective word? The adjective word is faster, which is fast. Now how we can order the words? Plane, the plane is faster than the car. So we write the plane is faster than the car. We add the article the for sure at the beginning of the sentence or before anything. So the plane is faster than the car, for the adjective is fast. Because I'm comparing between two things, what did I add for the adjective fast? I added er and the word than, faster than. Now reading, biking, more interesting than, and is. So I'm comparing two activities or two things at the same time, reading and biking. We have the adjective word, which is interesting and is. So which is more interesting, reading or biking? Biking and playing in the bicycle. Which is more interesting activity? So I can say biking is, I put biking is, then I write the adjective word, which is interesting, more interesting than whom? Than reading. So here we have a short sentence. I'm comparing between two activities or two things or two animals. I put one things at the beginning of the sentence and another comparing one at the last of the sentence. Between them, what do we have? We have the adjective word, which is interesting, faster, or small. For some adjective word, what did I add? I add er and then. While because interesting, it is a big word which is more than one syllable, I didn't add er, interesting. I didn't add for it er. What did I add instead of er? Instead of writing er, I added the word more. So I say more interesting than reading, than biking. Now let's see more examples. My house, his house, smaller than and is. My house, his house, smaller than is. So I'm comparing two houses, two things, my house and my friend's house. I can say his house is smaller than my house, or my house is smaller than his house. So when I'm comparing between two things, what should I add for the adjective word? I should add er and the word then. Now I can say that both of them they are correct, but here I write his in a capital letter, so we should start with the sentence in a capital letter. So I will start with his house. His house is smaller than my house. So I'm comparing two houses or two things. The adjective word is small. Because I'm comparing two things, I add the word than and er to the adjective. The adjective word is small. What should I add for it? Because I'm comparing two things, I add er plus then. Now, Rana's we have Rana's garden bigger وأنا's garden وthan. So I'm comparing كمان two places or two things, Rana's garden and Anna's garden, where the adjective word is bigger. So I should start the sentence with the subject, then the verb, which is, then I write the adjective word. For the adjective word, I should add er, and then the other word, which is the comparing one. So how can I arrange this sentence? I can start with Rana's garden is bigger than Anna's garden, or I can write Anna's garden is bigger than Rana's garden. Anyone, because I'm comparing two things. So let's see, what did I write? Okay, Anna's garden is bigger than Rama's garden or Rana's garden. So here I'm comparing two places. I add the subject at the beginning, is after the subject, then the adjective word I add for it er, and then, because I'm comparing two things, two place or two animals, anything I'm comparing two, so I should add the word then and er. Now we have the sea is the ocean larger and then. So think a little bit. So the adjective word is, where the adjective word in this sentence? The adjective word in this sentence is larger. Okay, so which is larger, the ocean or the sea? The ocean. Okay, here we have capital letter the. Which one? Ocean is larger than the sea, or the sea is larger than the ocean? Of course the ocean. Then we have the verb is, the ocean is, then I write the adjective word, which is large. But because I'm comparing two things, what should I add for the adjective word? er. Of course, large, it ends with e. So I don't add er, no, because large it ends with e, so only I add the letter r. The ocean is larger. After the the adjective word larger, what should I add? I should add then whom? Then the sea. So the sentence is, the ocean is larger than the sea. Last sentence we have February shorter than is and March. So here we are comparing 2 months. Which month is shorter than the other, February or March? We know that February we have 28 or 29 days. However, March it has 31 days. So which month is shorter than the other? Logically, February. We start with the month February Then after February, what do we add? Linking verb. He is. February is. Now the adjective word, where is it? Short. Because I'm comparing two things, what did I add for the adjective word short? I add er. Shorter than whom? Than March. So February is shorter than March. Now let's think about Tom and Jerry. Who is smaller, Tom or Jerry? Now your turn is to write a short sentence answering the question, who is smaller? So I write the adjective word smaller. You are going to write the sentence. I say Jerry, because Jerry is smaller than Tom. Jerry is, where the adjective word? Small. Smaller. Okay, what should I add after the word smaller? Smaller Tom, or I say smaller than Tom? No, I should say smaller than. So Jerry is smaller than Tom. Now, also Jerry and Tom. Who is taller, Jerry or Tom? Of course, Tom. Okay, now we are going to write a sentence using the adjective word, which is taller. How do we start? Tom. Then I write is. Tom is taller. After the adjective word taller, what should I add? Then. Tom is taller than whom? Than Jerry. So Tom is taller than Jerry. I'm comparing between Tom and Jerry. So, and the adjective word is taller. Because I'm comparing between two animals or two characters, I add the word then. Now, who is bigger? Let's look at the picture and tell us who is bigger. Of course, Shrek is bigger than Donkey. Shrek is bigger than Donkey. So, I use the word bigger, I add for it er and then to compare between two characters. Now also we have who is more beautiful. Here, because we have a beautiful and it is more than one syllable, I can divide it into beautiful, 2 or 3 syllables. So I should say, I don't add er for beautiful, it is wrong way. So instead of adding er, I use the word more. So I can say Shrek or anyone is more beautiful. So instead of adding er, I should add more. Now we are comparing dragon and the donkey. Who is more beautiful? I say dragon is more beautiful than donkey. So because beautiful it is more than one syllable, I add more instead of er. I say more beautiful than. Now, who is hungrier, Shrek or the donkey? Hungrier. Who is hungrier? So the adjective word is hungrier. Yeah, let's write the sentence. I say the donkey, for example, the donkey is hungrier, or I can say more hungry than Shrek. Donkey is hungrier than Shrek. Hungry, it ends with Y. Because it ends with Y, I cross the Y, and instead of the letter Y, I added IER. We know the rule is to add ER to the adjective word, but because hungry it ends with Y, I cross the Y and I add IER instead. So what do we conclude? We conclude that when we are going to compare between two objects, two people, two things, two animals, we add for the adjective er plus than. So the adjective word plus er and the word than. For example, longer than. The adjective word is long. I add er, then the word than. If it's one syllable. But if the word is more than one syllable, like beautiful, interesting, expensive, wonderful, what can I do? I don't add er, so what should I do? I add more plus the adjective word, then the word then, like expensive, beautiful, interesting. These words are more than one syllable. Because they are more than one syllable, I add the word more before them. Let's see the table of the adjective words. These are an adjective words. I want to change them into comparative form when I use them to compare two things. So the first one is big. Big, it is made up of 3 letters: consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay. So to change it into comparative form, we said that we should add er to it. So, but we have a small or a short rule before it. Because big, it is made up of consonant, vowel, consonant. Before adding the er, what should we do? We double the letter G. What do we mean we double the letter G? We write 2G. Big, they see 2G, bigger. So I write another letter G, then er. I write another letter G, then er. It becomes bigger. Bigger, this is big. What did I do? I add another letter G, then er. Why did I do that? Because big, it's consonant, vowel, consonant. Same for hot and same for the word slim. These two words are consonant, vowel, consonant. For the word hot, I double the T. For the word slim, I double the M because they are consonant, vowel, consonant. Now let's look at the second example. We have a slower. We wanted to change it into the base form, slower. What is the base form of slower? Here we add the er. If we remove the er, it becomes slow. For interesting, interesting, because it is made up of more than one syllable, interesting. So what did I add? I add the word more before the word interesting. Okay, for hotter, I want to change it into the base form. Here we have hotter. If I remove the er, it becomes hot. Okay, how do we write the word hot? We write it H-O-T, H-O-T. Because it is consonant, vowel, consonant, I doubled the T. But the base form of hotter is hot with one T. Now let's see this word. What is it? Little, it becomes less. Oh, it changed. Little becomes less. For the word bad, it becomes worse. And for the word better, better here it is in the comparative form. But I can't say, for example, Muhammad is gooder than Yusuf. Instead of using the word good, I use the word better. So what is the base form of better? It is good. Good, if I want to compare between two people or two things or two cars, for example, I say this car is better than that car. So instead of using good, we use the word better. I can't use the word gooder. It is wrong. Attentive, here it is more than one syllable. Attentive, because it is more than one syllable, what should I add before it? I should add, of course, before it the word more. More attentive. And he pays attention. Dirty. Okay, dirty, it is a word that ends with the letter Y. Like hungry. What did I do for the word hungry? I said we should cross the Y and add, before adding ER, I should add I-E-R. So dirty, dirtier. I cross the Y and I add I instead of the letter Y. Then I add ER as usual. Nice. It becomes nicer. So only I add the letter R because nice, it ends with the letter E. Okay, let's do some exercise on them. So we are going to fill in the blanks using the comparative form of the given adjectives. I give you some adjectives. You are going to change it into the comparative form, which means that you are going to add ER plus than, or if it's more than one syllable, you should add more plus than. Lions are big cats. So I'm comparing between lion and cat, and the adjective word is big. So how I can change it into comparative form? Big, because it becomes bigger. So I double the G and it becomes bigger than. This cup is hot than the other cup. So I'm comparing two cups and I use the adjective hot. Hot, it is consonant, vowel, consonant. So what should I do for the letter T? Before adding ER, I should double it. It becomes hotter, hotter than. My sister is slim. My mother, she is very thin. We said slim means she is very thin. So slim, it is consonant, vowel, consonant. It ends with three letters, consonant, vowel, consonant. So what should I do for the letter M? I should double it. My sister is slimmer. Then I should add the word than. Slimmer than. I have few marbles than you have. So few, what should I add for a few? To compare, fewer than. Fewer, and here I am writing then, so I shouldn't repeat the word then. I have fewer marbles than you have. Is winter cold? The adjective word is cold. Autumn season. So I'm comparing two seasons, winter and autumn. Which is colder than the other? Of course winter. So winter is colder. I should add ER for the adjective word cold, and then colder than. Now, my story is interesting. Your story. So I'm comparing two stories. Interesting is the adjective. It is more than one syllable. So what should I do? My story is, I should add ER or more. Of course, I should add more because it is more than one syllable. So I say my story is more interesting than. London is beautiful Lebanon. So I'm comparing two countries, which are London and Lebanon. Of course, I should say London is more beautiful than Lebanon. Now your turn is to use these adjective words in a sentence. For example, young, I can say younger. For example, my brother is younger than my sister. Tall, I am taller than my sister. Long, my sister hair is longer than longer than my hair. Amazing, I should say more amazing than, and beautiful, I should say more beautiful than, because they are more than one syllable.